Greetings. We have some more interesting news happening in the UAP space these days. Yesterday, the day before, Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp, over on their YouTube channel Weaponized, revealed exclusive video footage from a 2023 US Navy encounter with apparently multiple Tic Tac shaped UAPs or UFOs. And I'll have a link below for their podcast. I definitely recommend you go check it out. It's their Weaponized podcast, episode number 72. So the incident happened on February 15th, 2023, just about 2 years ago. It involved a ship called the USS Jackson off the coast of Southern California. Now, this is very interesting because this, of course, is the same general area where the famous 2004 Tic Tac incident was observed in the same region. So a couple of things about this. So first of all, the new footage shows thermal imagery captured from the ship's Combat Information Center using something called the Sapphire system. And this is similar to the equipment that was on the USS Omaha from those objects that were recorded back in 2019, if you recall. In this instance, Navy personnel documented at least 4 Tic Tac shaped objects, with one witness initially observing one of the craft rising from the ocean before transitioning directly into flight. So that's transmedium capabilities. That makes it particularly interesting to me. I'm in the middle of publishing a 3-volume history of USOs, unidentified submerged objects, and this is yet another one that we're just learning about. So a couple of details from this encounter, very simple. So you got the 4 Tic Tac shaped objects detected both visually and on radar. One craft coming from the water. All of the objects were self-illuminated. They exhibited what was called synchronized and also like instantaneous departure. So suggesting that they're obviously coordinated with each other. They're communicating with each other in some way. And they disappeared simultaneously from radar after they were seen departing. The USS Jackson, by the way, which is the ship where this took place, is known as an Independence-class littoral combat ship. That is, I had to look into that because I didn't know what that class of ship was, but it's designed for, it's a very versatile ship. It's designed for high-speed operations in shallow coastal waters. So a lot of areas that might be determined to be hotspots, areas around the world where you want to get in close to the shore. This type of ship is well designed for that, as well as like dealing with countermeasures against mines and anti-submarine warfare as well. So that was the ship that we're talking about. Now I'll show a brief clip of this so that you can see what actually is going on here. Let's see if I've got that happening. There you can. I don't want to show their entire clip here. You can watch the whole thing on the Weaponized channel, but this is what we're looking at. And again, you can see this looks very much like the Tic Tac UAP that was recorded in 2004. So you can definitely get a good look at it here. You can go check out the whole video on the Weaponized podcast there. A couple of interesting things about this, though, that they talked about. So they mentioned witness testimony. One of the anonymous crew members of the USS Jackson gave some explicit statements about this. Here's 2 statements I'm just transcribing here for you. One was, I go out to the bridge wing. I'm noticing things and lights on the horizon. I know the difference between a light on the horizon coming up and a light coming out of the water. This thing was coming up. I wasn't shocked that I was seeing it. I was shocked that I was sharing the experience. And he also described, let me go to the next one here. He says all 4 of them, all in synchronous jetting off into the abyss, all timed together and all left. They're all gone. They're all off radar. So pretty descriptive there. Jeremy and George emphasized a few points about why this footage matters. So first of all, it shows very clearly that you have continued UFO or UAP activity in the same area where the 2004 Tic Tac incident occurred. You have the fact that Navy personnel report these encounters, and it's much more common than the public realizes. I think that's absolutely right. These objects display capabilities beyond known technology, particularly the transmedium aspect of that, but pretty much everything that they do seems to be very highly advanced. The synchronized departure suggests intelligent control or communication. And the other thing is the Navy witnesses reported this incident to Admiral Tim Gallaudet. It's very interesting. And they noted, George and Jeremy, that they shared this footage with military analysts who confirmed that these were not camera artifacts, for example, or any kind of known conventional objects. Jeremy indicated that additional footage might exist showing even more dramatic movements of the objects, and he hopes to obtain them and release them in the future. I certainly hope that he succeeds in that matter. Both Jeremy and George were, I think, hopeful that this release would encourage more military witnesses to come forward and motivate Congress to hear testimony directly from first-hand witnesses. I think that would certainly be for the best for everything. I would just add my own thoughts here. You're talking about the long history of UFO encounters involving the United States military. The 2004 Tic Tac incident has achieved a kind of almost legendary status by this time. I mean, not only did it involve multiple credible military witnesses that was aboard the USS Nimitz carrier group, but it was also documented through radar, through infrared, and through visual means. So that's a very significant encounter. You cannot overstate its importance. It essentially broke through decades of official denial and became the cornerstone for a new era of UFO or UAP acknowledgement. So now we have evidence that suggests this 2004 Tic Tac incident was not an isolated occurrence. This footage from 2023 showing indicating multiple of these types of objects, that's a profound continuation of this pattern. You got witnesses saying they observed 4 of these objects, with at least 1 emerging from the ocean. So again, this confirms once again the transmedium capabilities that have been reported in countless USO cases through the decades. I've just spent the last 3 years delineating hundreds of these encounters, and there are so many transmedium cases that have now that I've been able to collect and are publishing in my 3-volume history of this. So there's, there's several aspects of this new case that I think really should demand our attention. First, again, the persistence of the Tic Tac design across basically 2 decades. That suggests a continuity of presence. So whoever or whatever is operating these craft appears to have maintained a consistent technological approach over a considerable period of time, a couple of decades. So this, I think, my take is that this counters the notion that we're talking about experimental craft being tested for brief periods before they are replaced. This is strikes me as a permanent type of design, as it were. Second, the transmedium aspect of this, where objects are emerging from the ocean, reinforces what many researchers have long documented, that these phenomena demonstrate capabilities far beyond our known aerospace technology. The ability to operate with equal facility in space, in air, and in water points to propulsion systems that seem to manipulate fundamental physical forces in ways that we have not yet mastered. And third, this incident apparently was not forwarded up the chain of command or to AARO, that is the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. And if that is the case, which it appears, that's particularly troubling, I think, because it really suggests an ongoing compartmentalization and information control within our military, within our intelligence structures, even after Congress has mandated reporting and investigation of such phenomena. We're still apparently having significant numbers of these encounters that are being withheld from official channels. That's what it looks like to me. As I've documented this extensively in my 2 volumes of UFOs and the National Security State, for example, this pattern of information suppression has been consistent since at least the late 1940s, despite the recent shift toward some level of official acknowledgement. We're at this kind of halfway place here. It looks to me that all the long-standing habits of secrecy are still deeply embedded within the military complex. The fact that multiple craft are operating in formation also deserves consideration. This indicates coordinated activity. We're not talking about random appearances. Again, this strengthens the case for intelligent control and purpose behind these manifestations. Now, what that purpose might be: surveillance, demonstration, or something else entirely, that we can continue to discuss and interpret and debate. For the broader UFO or UAP research community, I think that this new evidence is more powerful validation that demonstrates the phenomena that was captured in the original Navy videos released in 2017. Tic Tac, Gimbal, Go Fast. These are not anomalies or misidentifications. Those were, just like these now, these later ones, are representations of an ongoing reality that continues to unfold. I think the implications are quite profound. We're witnessing objects that demonstrate capabilities well beyond known human technology, operating with impunity, seems to me, in sensitive military areas, showing particular interest in our naval operations, demonstrating an ability to transition between mediums that really defines our conventional physics, at least so far. We're not talking about just lights in the sky here that can easily be dismissed. These are solid objects recorded by military personnel, exhibiting characteristics, frankly, that challenge our understanding of what is technologically possible. And I certainly would say we need to maintain scientific rigor in our analysis, but I think, we want to acknowledge that the evidence increasingly points toward a non-human origin for at least some portion of these phenomena. This is very interesting footage. I'm really very grateful to Jeremy and George for getting this out there. And I just think it adds another critical piece to an already substantial body of evidence that suggests, we're not alone. Someone or something is monitoring our civilization here on this planet, monitoring our military operations as well, with technology well beyond what we are currently capable of. That's a reality. That it certainly seems to be the case, uncomfortable though it may be for many of us to accept. But I do believe it demands serious consideration from our scientific, our military, and our political establishments, and I hope that they continue to do that. That's all I've got for you. I'm glad to have this time here with you. Wish you all a great day, and I'll be back again soon. Bye for now.